Welcome to the Purple Knights podcast. We're here today with Byron, also known as Sweetz on YouTube. And I came across your channel just a couple nights ago, and I tend to get notifications about all the Prince content on YouTube because I'm a massive Prince fan. And this podcast is actually about Prince and related artists and people, but a lot of times I like to highlight independent musicians who have been inspired by Prince in some way. Um, and I saw your videos on YouTube, a couple of your reaction videos, and I just really enjoyed how real you were as far as being authentic to yourself and being, showing your sense of humor and also showing your respect to Prince as well as an artist and just a kind of a style icon. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. I started the channel, I think around September, and it was really just a way, like, I'm a creative person. I've been doing music for most of my life, and I do mostly rap, hip hop stuff. And honestly, I hadn't really heard about Prince till a little bit later in my life. One time, me and my wife were just sitting around, and then Purple Rain was on, and I watched it all the way through, and I looked at her like, I've been missing this. I can't believe this. So then I just kind of went down the rabbit hole and found some songs I liked. I really liked Pop Life. I like Darling Nikki. So it was just, I was a huge fan since then. But as far as, cause see, that's another thing I was putting out on a video the other day. Like, I'm a fan of his, but I haven't seen all his videos. I haven't heard all the music, and that's kind of where I am with the reactions and everything, is just trying to get more familiar. So I started it with If I Was Your Girlfriend. I think that was the first Prince reaction I did, and I got a good response. So I'm like, why not keep doing them? And he's got plenty of work for me to, do.
Yeah, definitely. And to me, if I was your girlfriend, is one of the top two or three tracks I would say, in my opinion, as a hardcore Prince fan, it's one of the top tracks that really shows Prince's genius because he's talking. He's obviously talking from the point of view of a male, but he's talking about a level of intimacy with a woman that only exists between girlfriends or female friends, and I think that's really, it shows how not, I don't want to say brave because brave sounds a little negative, but it shows how assertive and sort of revolutionary Prince was to be able to take a song and explore something so intimate and so unique to the female perspective, yet from a male point of view. And the fact that he wants to be as close to this woman in the song as one of her girlfriends is something um, really unique and really special. And I think it's one of the testaments to Prince's artistry and his genius that he's able to see things from a completely different perspective than most men are able to look at things. So I definitely think that's a great song. And also, you mentioned Darling Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
All the Purple Rain stuff is popular, most popular to the general public. But I would also say the number one song that really encapsulates Prince's genius and his artistry is When Doves Cry. So
Yeah.
When Doves Cry would be a suggestion from me to you to react to on your channel one of these days because it's a great song, and it's unique in the fact that it has no actual bass line. The bass is pretty much in the reverb of the Lindrum, the electronic drum machine he used in the early 80s, and that he basically let that be the bass line to the song. But he did have a bass line initially in the song, but he decided to take it out and let the reverb on the drum machine be the bass. So it's an interesting little tidbit. I don't know if you as a musician would be interested in geeky stuff like that, but yeah,
I am, man. I am. Everything you were saying, I was into it as far as that's what I ask on the videos. Hey, go in the comments. I'm here really to learn. Like, honestly, I am, because I take stuff and I run it to people around me and I'm like, did you know this? Did you know that? Because there's so
right.
many interesting comments that like I would have never known. Like somebody actually put the voice effect on If I Was Your Girlfriend was supposed to be like his alter ego Camille, I believe,
Yes,
if I'm correct. Yeah,
yes,
and they
that's
kind of
right.
told me about that, and I was like, "See, I would have never known that." So that's awesome
Yes,
info to get.
yes. Well, I'm glad we kind of connected because I'll definitely be lurking in the comments and offer
Awesome.
some tidbits when I can. So
And just so you know, look out! I just did. Everybody kept requesting it, so I did Prince's Party Man video,
okay,
but
yeah,
it should be coming as soon as they unblock it. You know, YouTube sometimes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it should be coming. So look
That's
out
in,
for that.
that's interesting because I tell people all the time. I tell my friends that if I could have a personal anthem, it would be Party Man. So there you
That's
go.
awesome.
So
That is awesome, man.
one of the things you talked about in your video was the level of confidence Prince has as an artist. It's unbelievable, especially in a live setting. But in general, uh, the one of the things that attracts me most to Prince as a man and an artist is the self confidence.
Hmm.
Because I was born 3 months premature, and I lost oxygen three separate times for like 6 minutes at a time. So I'm disabled in a wheelchair with cerebral palsy, and I've never had really that sense of inner strength or self confidence to carry me through life. So, um, and I've been a Prince fan since I was about 3 years old. The fall of 1983 was when I first heard Little Red Corvette on the radio. It was blowing up on the radio. I was born and grew up in Minnesota, where Prince is from. So, of course, they like to show that hometown love for the breakout artist.
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, yeah, so hearing Little Red Corvette on the radio as a 3 year old, it captivated me. And of course, at that age, I was too young to really understand the lyrical content and the messages of that song, but just the sound of his voice and the conviction of his delivery and his self confidence was what really hooked me in, and I've been a fan ever since. So yeah, just talking about his self confidence is really, really a great thing to see. And I noticed on a lot of your videos you talk about that, the charisma that he had, and also your personal regret of not being able to see him live when he was still with us. And I got to see him 7 times in total while he was
Whoa.
with us. And I personally know people that have seen him upwards of 40 or 50 times. So,
Whoa.
but it's insane. The energy that he gave off as a live performer is was, nothing short of magical. And it's just, it's it's cool to go back and see these live performances like you did the live performance of the beautiful ones. I think
Yeah,
I think it was from 1985, if I'm not mistaken,
I believe so. Yep.
the Syracuse, New York concert. But yeah, it's cool to be able to go back and relive those memories, which is unfortunately all we have now. That Prince is no longer with us. He's been gone for nearly 5 years. It'll be 5 years in April
Jeez,
21st.
really? That's
Already
crazy.
is 5 years. So yeah, time flies
Yeah, it does.
definitely. But I'm grateful that we have the recorded live performances and the studio tracks as well, because um, there's people like you that stumble on these things, and like you were saying, go down a whole entire rabbit hole and start unearthing all this crazy, great, brilliant stuff. And it's awesome. So I'm encouraged by people like you that get interested and want to take the leap and learn, and just um uncover more of his greatness and what he was able to offer the world as an artist. So I'd like to thank you, man, for doing what you do and your reaction videos. And like I say, they're totally authentic, and I love just how real you are. And you know, some people on social media and YouTube and stuff, they put on these fake, pretenses in order to get likes and views and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
you're like the total opposite. So that immediately struck me when I watched your videos, and I was like, man, I got to reach out to this dude and see if we could rap a little bit about Prince.
Oh
And
yeah.
because I know you were digging the music and the reactions that you did, so it was it was great for me to see as a hardcore fan, and like I say, great for me to see people such as yourself um, being newly exposed to Prince's artistry and his talent. So, tell me a little bit about your own work. Is it online? Is there any place we could check it out?
Like I said, I've been doing it a while. I've done some concerts. I kind of took a break for a long time just because of life, but now I'm just kind of tapping into all my creative stuff, and now YouTube's added into that, the reactions. I'm trying to work on some different content. I think I'm going to start a podcast kind of like you. So
Oh, cool.
that's what I'm
Cool.
working on. Yep.
So what types of things are you looking at to explore in your podcast?
Really just kind of like current events and general conversations like this. Maybe it centers around like a certain artist or a certain topic, kind of all
Yeah,
over the place, kind of like my channel. Like I have Prince, he's on there, but I have other videos I do, just not trying to be one single thing, because I'm a single thing. So you know
yeah, yeah. Just kind of do an eclectic mix of different things. I
just
can,
stuff I like. Yeah.
yeah, I totally dig that. And my musical tastes are very eclectic as well. Obviously Prince is my number one, but I like every type of music, from you know um, classical to heavy metal to a little bit of hip hop and everything in between. So I'm kind of I'm interested to see what you're gonna do, and I'll definitely follow along with any creative thing you'd like to drop on us. I'll definitely come along for the ride.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. For
So
real.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And well, um, I'm trying to think. is there any other things we should talk about? I mean, we pretty much covered things, but
Yeah, man. It's good to meet you. I'm glad you reached out to me. If you
yeah.
want to have any other conversations or you think anything we missed, definitely you can reach out to me again and I'll come back anytime. I'm pretty accessible, like I tell everybody. I'm not just saying that stuff in the videos. I'm here to talk to everybody and, be cool. Keep the negativity out though. Anybody listening, like don't come around with negativity. Then you'll have a bad time at my channel because I just wanted to stay upbeat and cool.
I agree. These past couple of years, especially, have been turbulent times, and like you say, talking about current events, and we don't need to get into all that here. But I mean, I'm with you, man. It's been crazy negative, and the toxic energy and stuff. I can't deal with it, man. I just can't. You know, I
True.
try to keep things positive. So I totally appreciate that too. Nice to meet you, and thanks very much for talking with me.
For
I
sure,
know
man. Thank you.
I know it was pretty brief, but before I let you go, I wanted to know, I was watching the your reaction to the Get Off performance from 1991,
Okay.
and you were wondering who the tall dude was that was walking around spitting bars. Did anybody answer that for you?
Man, he has a pretty good like fan base. It seems like because it was Tony M, right?
Yes, Tony Mosley.
Yep, and they
That's
kind of
right.
ran down his little like musical career that he kind of had with his group and different stuff. So
Yeah. It'd be
yeah, they kind
interesting.
of educated me.
It'd be interesting. We should have a in the near future. We should have a follow up conversation about Prince's attempts to incorporate hip hop into his music, because
Let's do
especially
it. Let's do
especially
that.
in the early to mid '90s, he tried to incorporate a lot of hip hop, and I personally, well, of course, I'm biased, but I think he had a real nice flow when he would try to rap himself. Um,
I agree with that. Somebody had actually said Prince was like they were saying between him and Tony M that he was the worst rapper. I was like, no, I think he's pretty good. I don't know.
yeah, a lot of a lot of people a lot of people in the hardcore Prince fan community really, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but quite a few don't have very nice things to say about Tony M. So it was
Really?
yeah, it was nice to hear you say that there have been some people that have commented on your stuff to say that that they were fans and everything, because coming at it from my perspective, being in the hardcore community, for as long as have, and basically, you know, growing up through that whole period where Tony M was a part of the band, there was a lot of talk about, not only how bad Tony M was, which I never I never hopped on that train for 1 second, but also that Prince was just a wannabe hip hop artist or wannabe rapper, and he
Nah.
was selling out by chasing chasing trends instead of making them, and all this nonsense. And again, it goes back to negative energy. I don't
Yeah.
like. I personally don't like to deal with all that stuff. But yeah, Tony M is a great guy, a great person. I don't know him personally, but I've reached out to him a couple times, and he's a busy man, but he's a very nice guy, and I thought he brought a lot of flavor to Prince's music in the early '90s. And if you want to check out what I believe to be Tony M's best rap on a Prince song, is it's on the bridge of a song called "My Name Is Prince" from the Symbol album. The album is the unpronounceable symbol that Prince eventually changed his name to a couple years later, was actually the title of the album. But it's the opening track on that album called "My Name Is Prince," and
Okay.
Tony M does a rap over the bridge of the song, and he just kills it. So if you want an example of his skill and his flow, definitely check that track out.
Well,
It's
it's cool you reached out to him. It's cool he seems like a nice guy because I didn't know what he was up to after that. I'm like, so many people kind of like do big stuff and then fade away. So that's cool to hear he's doing all right. Staying
yeah,
busy.
he's actually um, a lot of Prince's former band members have actually reunited, and they planned to go on tour in 2020 before COVID hit,
Mhm.
and the band name is the New Power Generation. So
Oh, that's cool.
I can send you some information on them. But Tony was touring with them and actually performing all the classic songs from the early '90s that he did with Prince. So obviously now they got a new lead singer and everything, but the band is still alive and kicking and actually making new original music as well. They came out with a single around Christmas time. The band did, so that was really cool. But yeah, he's still active and going strong with the group, so
Cool.
it's good stuff. But thank you again so much again for taking time out of your day to do this, and I
Of course,
appreciate
bro. For
it.
sure. Thank you.
And I appreciate you staying true to yourself always as a person and as an artist. And we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, man. Reach out anytime.
All right. Thank you very much, man.
All right, bro.
Have a good day.
You too.